we have learned in the previous semester. I hope you still remember. Okay. The first one is Ezra.
Present, Miss.
Okay.
What did you say before? I did not get it.
Okay, you may mention one giving or asking opinion.
Oh, the material that we learned last week.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to give opinion. I think
Very good. Okay. Rosalinda.
present, Miss. I see opinion. What do you think about?
What do you think about? Awesome. Okay, next person is Indah.
Present, Miss. Giving opinion. In my opinion.
In my opinion, okay, very good. Okay, you learned well. Okay. Alright, good. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to ask you some question. Okay. Have you ever read the text that consists of pros and cons?
Yes, we have, Miss.
Okay, you have. Where do you find the kind of text, Rosa?
I found it on Instagram, Miss. I remember I got it from Narasi TV and Kompas TV, Miss.
TV and Kompas TV. Okay, good. What about you, Intan?
I have read it on website, and it was from Kumparan, Miss.
It was from Kumparan. Good. Okay, so what is the purpose of that kind of text? What about you?
I think if you're talking about pros and cons, is it to inform everyone about the issue?
Okay, from everyone. Okay, very good. Okay, so all of your answer is that is discussion text. So discussion text is consists of pros and cons, and then also you may find it in social media like in Instagram and also in a website like Intan say. Okay. Alright, students, so these are the three of learning objective for today's meeting. And then you have answered my question, right? In the checking attendance. Okay, so I will explain to you about what are the learning objective for today's meeting. Okay, the first one is student can identify the discussion text structure and its language features. So in this point, you have to identify the discussion text structure and also its language feature. For the structure, that there are several structure from the issue and arguments for, arguments against, and the recommendation. Okay, and for the language features, it concludes with like the tenses. It may also like thinking verb and etc. I will explain to you guys later in this material. Okay, so that is you have to identify the discussion text full from the beginning until the end of the text. Okay, so the second is student can determine the main idea and also the supporting details of the discussion text based on the 5W plus 1H questions. So maybe in the previous meetings you have already learned about the main idea, finding the main idea, and also the supporting details. And in this material, it also related to the main idea and also the supporting details. And then I will guide you, I will teach you how to read the discussion text based on the question 5W plus 1H question. So 5W plus 1H question, they are what, why, where, when, who, and the last one is how. So to understand more about the discussion text, you are better to discussion of 5W plus 1H question. Okay, and the last learning objective is students can comprehend the discussion text given correctly and contextually. So you are not just read the text and just like read the text, but in this learning objective, you also can comprehend the text correctly and also contextually. And I believe there are so many topics of the discussion text, and you are better to read the discussion text based on its topic. So that's why it means that it's contextually. So these are the learning objectives. So I will make a conclusion about the learning objective. Okay, the first one. Okay, for the first one is students can identify the discussion text structure and its language features. And also the second one is students can determine the main idea and supporting details of the discussion text based on 5W plus 1H question. And also the last one is student can comprehend the discussion text correctly and contextually. Okay, do you understand?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, very good, you get it. Okay, so after the learning objective, I will explain to you the method or what the activities for today's meeting. Okay, for the method, after I explain to you about the material, that you will do the reading activities on a group. So I will divide you into some group. That one group consists of 4 people. So, for example, like you just like 4. I mean, like the people around you, the near seat with you. Okay. So again, one group consists of 4 people. Okay, that is for the reading objective, and then you will do the reading activities through Medium, and you will like do the assignment in a group. And also that is the reading activities, and then for the individual assessment, you will do individually, of course, through Quiz Wizard. Now in Quiz Wizard, I put some questions from the discussion text that I will show you in these slides, and you have to answer the question correctly because this is for your final, your individual assessment. Alright? So that is the method and also the individual assessment. Alright students, so here I have the example of discussion text. So the title of this text is homeschooling. Okay, but before we read the text, it's better to make a prediction. So there are like 3 stages of reading. The first one is prediction. So in this stage, in prediction, before we read the text, so we better to like raise our curiosity by asking some questions. As I said before, like what, why, who, when, where, and how. So that is in the prediction stage, right? So, and then after the prediction, there's scheming. So we have to know what is the main idea, what is the text talking about. That is in the scheming stage. So we have to understand the text correctly. And then the last one is scanning. So in scanning stage, it's for like if you want to know certain information from the text, like what is the advantage, the disadvantage, and also if you want to find out the language features, it also can be in the scanning stage. Alright, so I repeat again, there are 3 reading stages. The first one is prediction, making prediction before you read the text. In these stages, you will like raising your curiosity towards the text. Okay, the second is skimming. In these stages, in skimming, you better to understand the text, like what is the main idea, what is the text talking about. So this is the skimming, and the last one is scanning. So the purpose for scanning is to find out the certain information. If you want to know like certain information in the text, you better to use like scanning process or in scanning stages. Alright, we can go. Oh yeah, before it, do you understand, guys?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, we can go. Here is the example of discussion text. The title is homeschooling. Okay, we go to the prediction stage. Okay, from the title, what kind of question that pop up in your mind if you read the text? Homeschooling. Maybe what is homeschooling, and then why do parents choose homeschooling instead of public school? Right?
Right, Miss.
Okay, and then what, why, and then it also can be like what is the advantage and disadvantages of homeschooling, right? And then maybe how parents can support their children in the homeschooling. Maybe that's 4 questions. So there's not necessarily 6 questions in your mind, but if you have like 3 or 4 questions, that's enough for the prediction stages. Alright? So let's read the text with me. Okay, the first paragraph. Homeschooling is an alternative way to educate our kids besides sending them to public school. Homeschooling is becoming more popular every day. There are about 2 million children currently learning at home. However, it has some advantages and disadvantages. Okay, maybe in this, after I read the first paragraph, maybe there's something pop up in your mind that answer our question, right? Okay, what is our question is, what is the homeschooling? So homeschooling is basically like learning at home, like the teacher comes to children's home. Alright, and homeschooling is become more popular nowadays, every day, and there are about 2 million children currently learning at home instead of public school. Some parents choose homeschooling for their kids. Okay, and however, it has some advantages and disadvantages. Of course, there's arguments for and arguments against it, pro and contra. Or I also can say there is a good and bad side for homeschooling. Okay, so this is just the first paragraph. Okay, we can continue to skimming. And then for the second paragraphs, parents choose homeschool to educate their kids because they believe that homeschooling can be a personalized schedule. Homeschooling allows parents and children to work out a schedule that will best work for the child. Another advantage is flexibility in time and curriculum. By homeschooling, parents can set the curriculum freely. Okay, so maybe in the second paragraph, it also answer our second question, like why do some parents choose the homeschooling instead of public school? Okay, so this is the argument for, or maybe it also can be said as the pro, as a good side from the homeschooling. So parents choose homeschooling because they believe that homeschooling can be a personalized schedule. So as a parent, for example, if I'm a parent and I have a kid and I want to like flexibility for the time for my kids, that I will choose the homeschooling, because homeschooling provides the flexible schedule, and also not only the flexible schedule, but also as a parent I can choose the curriculum. I know what is the curriculum, and I can support my children or my kids based on the curriculum. It means that I know what the teacher explained or delivered the material for my kids. And this is the arguments for, alright? Okay, maybe we can go to the next slide. Alright, there is an issue, an arguments for, and then it comes with arguments against. In arguments for, it's for the good side or the pro, and the arguments against is for the cons or the bad side from homeschooling. On the other hand, homeschooling can spoil parents' time. Homeschooling needs a lot of time in preparation and delivery. Parents have to research topics, prepare the lessons, set up the project, and fill the trips. Okay, as we already know that homeschooling means like our kids is learning at home, so we can like monitor our kids at home. What are their projects and what are their activities? So it means that the parents also know what our kids are doing with their teacher. Okay, so this is the cons. Some people say that homeschooling can spoil parents' time because the flexibility itself, that parents can monitor and can know what their kids doing or learning with their teacher. Alright, and then it also say that homeschooling needs a lot of time in preparation and delivery. Parents have to research topics, prepare the lesson, set up the project, and fill the trips. Alright, so for making the curriculum, both teacher and parents have to set the curriculum together. So as a parent, if I'm a parent, I have to research some topics, and I have to know what is the material that will be delivered by the teacher for my kids. Alright, so this is overall the arguments against is for the cons. Alright, and for the last paragraph is recommendation. So when thinking about putting children through homeschool, I believe we should make sure that we understand all of the criteria involved in home education. So we have now the issue, we have now the good side, the bad side of homeschooling, and last one or the last paragraph is recommendation. So it says that when we're thinking about children through homeschool, I believe that we should make sure that we understand all the criteria. So it means that as a parent, we know the consequence of if we are putting our children at homeschooling. We acknowledge that there are some consequences of homeschooling, not just the pro, but also the cons that we have already read from the previous paragraph. That homeschooling, it also has like some, not negativity, I don't say it negativity, but it's just like a different perspective or like a different side or the disadvantages of homeschooling. Alright? Okay, so in the recommendation, it is said that as a parents, I repeat again, as a parents, we have to ready and we have to acknowledge what the consequences if we are putting our children in homeschooling. Right? So I repeat again. There's from the previous slide. There is an issue, arguments for, And then there's also arguments against and recommendation. And this is the generic structure of discussion text that I will explain it a little bit more detailed later. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so we move to the definition of the discussion text. So what is a discussion text? A discussion text is a text that presents both sides of an issue or argument. Discussion text can be in the form of seminar material and discourse related to controversial issues. It is generally neutral. Okay, so discussion text basically is a text that presents both sides, like good side and bad side of the topic. And it also can be found in the many sources. You can find it in newspaper, or maybe now if there are no newspaper, there also you may find the discussion text on social media and on Instagram, in the website like in Narasi, Kumparan, detik.com, etc. And the important things that in the discussion text, it's not like tendency. It have the tendency to the one side. It is said that discussion text is generally neutral. It is not like have a tendency to bring the opinion of society. No, but in the discussion text, it is neutral because it provides two or both sides of the topic. As I said before, it presents the pro and the cons of the topics, the good side and the bad side of the topics. Okay, do you get it, guys?
Get it.
Okay, this is the definition. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Alright, after the definition, there is the purpose. So what is the purpose of discussion text? The purpose of discussion text is to inform readers about a particular topic, issue, or question by presenting different perspectives, opinions, or arguments. So basically, the purpose of discussion text is to inform the reader. To inform the readers about a particular topic or issue or arguments. And the point that we refer to in this discussion text can come from many sources and not only come from one side. And I said before in the definition that discussion texts provide both sides, pros and cons, and it also come from many sources. It can be like, as I said before, you may find it through the social media, Instagram, Facebook, on an account like Narasi TV or Kumparan TV or Kumparan.com, and also may found in any website through Google, like in the Kumparan, and also not only come from one side. It means that it's not like we tend to, for example, like if we agree with something that this text is only about the good side. No, but discussion text, again, I remind to you that discussion text provide two sides or both sides of the arguments. So there's a good side and bad side. Okay, we can go next to the next slide. Okay, in the previous explanation, I have mentioned like issue. So this is the structure of discussion text. So the structure of discussion text divided into four structure. First one is issue. The session will contain an introduction to the issue discussed. Of course, obviously, in the first paragraph, we have to know what is the talking about. We have to understand what is the definition of the topic that we read. So in this issue, it contains the introduction of the text. An issue in the discussion text can be in the form of hot problems, like you know the viral one, or like something that being talked by anyone. That's called as a hot problem circulating around. The topic can be educational, health, social, political, historical, or other issue. So there are so many or various topics for the discussion text, and yeah, I repeat again in the issue. This is in the first paragraph. This is in the first paragraph. It contains like the introduction and like the basic knowledge of the topic that we read, the text that we read, the text that we read. Okay. And what about the next structure? There is arguments for. So if we read the text, there will, after the issue, there if we remember the text homeschooling that we already read before, that arguments for is in the second paragraph. And arguments for, this is the second discussion text structure, is arguments for or supporting points. This is the supporting points. In this section, it contains a positive explanation or pro. So you can explain the things that make you agree or support the issue discussed. The arguments expressed can be in the form of benefits and so on. So in the arguments for, it's basically like the good side, the pro, or the benefit. The benefit from the topic in a discussion text. And then the things that you have to keep in mind that this is mostly comes in the second paragraph. Okay, so in the first paragraph, issue, the second paragraph is arguments for. And arguments for is for supporting the issue that's being discussed. Alright, we can go. After the arguments for, there is arguments against. The arguments against, this is the contrast from the arguments for. The argument against, in contrast to previous point, argument against or contrasting point will contain negative or contra explanation. So you can explain things that make you disagree about the issue being discussed. It can be in the form of losses or other negative things. So in the arguments for, there is a pro or benefit. If a person wants to like support the issue, there is an argument for. However, if you want to like disagree with something, it appears in the arguments against. So you can mean if you disagree with the issue, it comes from the argument against. Okay, arguments for is for benefit, and arguments against for the contra. Okay, if you disagree, it is in the argument against. Alright, can go next. The last one. Can give me Okay. Alright. Alright, students, and the last paragraph or the last structure from the discussion text is conclusion or recommendation. So we can say that's a recommendation. Alright. So the last part in the discussion text is the conclusion or recommendation. Here you can make conclusion from the results of the discussion being discussed. In addition, you can also provide suggestions regarding solution to these issues. So in this conclusion or recommendation, just simply say as a recommendation, it contains a solution of this issue. So it provides suggestion and solution of this issue. So I will conclude all of the generic structure that I have explained to you. The generic structure from the discussion text consists of 4 structures. The first one is issue. It contains some introduction of the topics. And then the second structure is arguments for. This is the pro or the good side. If you agree with something, this may occur in the arguments for. And then the third is arguments against. This is the contrast from the arguments for. The argument against is the contra. And the last one is recommendation or conclusion. In recommendation, it provides suggestion and solution. So that's why it makes the discussion text natural, because it's not only provide 2 sides of perspective, but also it provides the solution and the suggestion of the issue. Alright? Okay, here are the language features. For find out the language features, we can go to the scanning stages. So as I said before, there is the prediction, skimming, and scanning. We have already do the prediction and skimming, and now we go to the scanning. And scanning for language features. There are 4 language features in the discussion text. The first one is using simple present. So basically, in the discussion text, it is mostly used the simple present tense. For example, like watches, says, becomes, etc. I believe that you have already learned about the simple present tense. And then the second one is using modals. Modals can be like must, should, and then would, may, and can, and etc. And sometimes if the text contains a suggestion, it also can be used like should or must. And then for the third language features is using adjective, contrastive, and connection. It's like similarly, however, furthermore, moreover, but, and nevertheless. Or it also can be said as a subordinating conjunction. Similarly, however is contrastive subordinating conjunction. Maybe in the homeschooling text there is a however conjunction, and the last one is using thinking verb. What is thinking verb? So thinking verb is basically like feel, hope, and believe. Maybe in the discussion text, if the writer, maybe she or he agree with something, they can use like believe, the thinking verb in the text. Okay, so I conclude there are 4 language features in the discussion text. The first one is using simple present. Second one is using modals. And the third is using adjective, contrastive, and causal connection, or it basically like conjunction. It's using conjunction. Simply just say it as a conjunction. And the last one is using thinking verb. Alright? Next slide. Okay, maybe we can go to the homeschooling text. Okay, we can apply the scanning stages for the language features. Maybe for the structure, you have already understand. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, Miss. I got it.
Okay, got it. For the structure, maybe it's quite easy because it is like in order from the first paragraph, second paragraph, and until the last paragraph. But for the language features, let's scan it together. Okay, for the simple present tense. We can scan it. Where is the simple present in the first paragraph? Oh, there is a is. Homeschooling is an alternative way to educate. Is becoming. The first. Homeschooling is an alternative way to educate our kids. That is simple present. Yes, but homeschooling is becoming is not simple present. It is simple present. It's simple present continuous because it contains in. So we got homeschooling is an alternative way. That is the simple present tense. Okay, what else? Maybe anything else using simple present? Maybe, this. There are about 2 million children. There's also simple present, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay, that's the simple present. Okay, what else? Maybe we can move to the second paragraph. You may choose where is the simple present in the second paragraph. Okay, it's obvious in the first sentence. Parents choose homeschool to educate their kids. That is also simple present, right?
Right, miss.
Okay. Choose. That is simple present.
Allows.
Yeah, good. Homeschooling allows parents and children to work out a schedule. That is also simple present. What else? Do you find some? Any else?
Another advantage is.
Yes.
Is.
Good. Another advantage is possibility. It's also simple present. Okay. Alright. Very good. That are scanning. So we are not read all of the paragraphs again, but we just scan the certain word that we are going to find. Okay. And then for the second we find some conjunction. Alright, so maybe in the next slide. Okay, if you find some conjunction here, subordinating conjunction, like however, nevertheless, maybe
On the other hand, miss.
on the other hand, yeah, it's also similar with however or nevertheless. That is contrastive subordinating conjunction. Very good. Okay, anything else? Do you find some conjunction here? And is not conjunction, that's preposition.
Oh, yes. So, miss.
So also, fanboys is preposition. I'm so sorry. Okay, there is only one. Surprisingly, there's only one conjunction here. Okay, that's okay. What about thinking verb? Do you find a thinking verb like I feel, I believe?
Believe, miss.
Believe, there's also believe here. I believe you should make sure. Good. And then after, anything else for the thinking verb? No? Okay, only believe. And then modals. Do you find some modal here? Like should, must,
Should,
can.
miss.
Should.
Can, miss.
Can. Okay, good. Ada should di sini. I believe we should make sure. And also can. Where's can?
Can spoil, miss.
Oh, can spoil. Yeah. Good. Okay. Alright. Very good.
Yay!
Okay. Okay, students. So I have already explained to you about the structure and also the language features of discussion text. And now for the reading activity.
Okay, now we're going to have reading activities through Medium. Here is the Medium. You may be curious, what is Medium? So Medium is one of the best platforms to write and to publish your writing and also to read many stories in any kind of text, including discussion text that we have discussed about. And then for your information, information, actually, Medium is similar with Quora. That I think you guys must be familiar with Quora. So it is similar with Quora. As Miss had said last week that you guys must have already installed the Medium app in your phone and have logged in using your Google account or Gmail. Have you guys done it?
Already done, Miss.
Okay, good. So, firstly, I will introduce you to the Medium's feature comment, which is you will use it later in your group work. Okay, so I will play the video tutorial for the comment feature. Okay, so here is the video tutorial for the comment feature. So please pay attention. Just click the button. And then you have posted your comments. So that's for the comment feature that you will use later in your group work. Okay? So now I will divide you into groups that based on where you sit. So the front row will group with the row behind it. Okay, behind you. So for one group consists of 4 people. Okay? Okay. So, Miss will share the Medium link for the text that you will discuss in your group work, okay? Okay, I have shared the link in the WhatsApp group. You may open the link in your phones.
Okay, Miss, wait.
Have you opened it?
Done, Miss.
Okay, good. Okay, so now let me give the instruction for you to do the group work. So first, you must read the text carefully, okay? And then, you should identify the generic structure of the text and also the language feature of the text, okay? After you identify the generic structure and language feature, you should make conclusion about the text and also your opinion about the text, about the issue that is talking about in the text, okay? And then the last, pick one member of your group to be a representative to put the answer in the comment section, okay? And then don't forget to mention your group members, okay? So now I think you may start your group work.
Okay, Miss. Kita lihat nih di sini judulnya adalah the effects of playing ngomongin, berarti dia menceritakan tentang dampak positif atau negatif? Positif. Oke, per argument claim that video games give a lot of benefits. Benefit yang pertama, video game is good way to kill children boredom. Berarti itu tentang apa? Kill children boredom berarti kayak biar nggak bosen ya ibaratnya. It can refresh children's mind after a tiring school day. Jadi lebih refreshing. Karena udah bosan di sekolah belajarnya. Kan juga pasti pernah kan? Iya. Nah, sekolah gitu kan main video games itu jadi lebih refresh lagi. And also di sini juga ada nih. They also argue that video games can trigger children to be more creative. What do you think?
Kan karena ada ini ya kayak plotnya dari game jadi kayak kan setiap game itu beda-beda ya jadi itu kayak senang terus kayak kayak bisa dan itu jadi kita tuh kreatif gitu.
Jadi lebih mengasah kreativitas. So benefitnya di situ. Oke, terus because the games provide challenging ways to win, jadi anaknya nih kayak semangat
we done it, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
Okay, so based on your answer, I can say that you guys have already understood how to identify the generic structure and the language feature of discussion text. And then from the conclusion and your opinion about the text, it seems like you guys comprehend the text well. But we'll make sure about it later because after this, you guys will have an individual assessment using Quiz Wizard. So be ready.
Okay, now we move to the game session for your individual assessment. Miss already sent the link in our WhatsApp group. The test will be based on our text in the medium in the previous discussion. So please answer the question correctly. Okay, now. Ready?
Ready!
1, 2, 3. Click. That's right. Okay. Ini.
Yes, yeay, kita selesai. Jadi kamu mau fungsi ya? Jadi
actually that's the end of our activities today. But I will give you a homework that you must have done for next week. So far, you have been already familiar with medium, right?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, good. So I want you to use medium outside the class. I want you to find two discussion texts in the medium and report your reading next week using this format. So here is the format. First, you have to put the link. You have to put the link here, and then you must answer these aspects such as issue, arguments for, arguments against, recommendation, which is the general structure, okay? And then like features, conclusions, and also your opinions. So you must use this format for your reports, okay?
Okay, Miss.
Now I will show you the medium feature search. I will play the video tutorial. Okay, so here is the video tutorial of using the medium feature search. You can click the icon search in here and then just searching the topic that you are interested in and then just find discussion text. So you should make sure that the kind of text is discussion text. Okay? You should make sure.
Okay, Miss.
Yes. And then you can click this button so that it will be saved in your reading list.
Oh.
Here, just click this button and then here are your reading lists. Okay? So that's how to use the medium feature search. Okay, I think that's all for today. But I want us to review what we have learned today. So, what we have learned today. First,
Language feature.
language feature of discussion text, and then
Generic structure.
generic structure of discussion text.
And medium, Miss.
Yeah, and medium, how to use medium. Okay, so yeah, I think that's the end of our meeting today. Let's say Alhamdulillah together.
Alhamdulillah.